Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family.
Hello, everyone. What's up, Melissa?
Hey.
I've been out of town for a few days. Really missed Melissa and our family. And right when I got home last night, I got home about midnight, and we went right into irrigating our pecan grove, which is totally a blessing to have water, to have this pecan grove. And sometimes it's useful for me to remind myself of that when I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning to check the water and turn off the water. And I'm just excited to be here hanging out with Melissa, doing this podcast, which, by the way, super exciting announcement on today's podcast. Maybe one of the most exciting announcements that I think we've ever had on a podcast episode.
I agree. I'm personally maybe more excited about it than anything we've ever offered or talked about before. So do you want to start talking about it?
Take it away.
Okay. Never before have we done, we're going to host an event in November. We have hosted some events before. As you may or may not know, we've done some couples retreats before, but we co-hosted them with someone else. And we just thought, after getting some feedback from our last retreat that we hosted in March in Hawaii, a lot of people were saying, hey, I wish there would have been more family brand content at the retreat, because it kind of toned in on just doing couples content at these. And I got to thinking that would be actually really fun to do, to have a couple be able to come to an event, like a 1.5 day event, because almost all of our clients are busy families. So this can't be like a long drawn out affair. 1.5 day event, they could come as a couple for a 1.5 day and leave with their family brand built in a really like collaborative and fun setting with other couples, live and in person. Maybe this means that they get a getaway with each other. And so then our mind just started spinning like, could we really do this? What would this look like? And I'm excited to announce we have solidified some dates and details, and it's happening in November.
Yeah. And when we say leave with your family brand built, what that means is you will leave with your family's mission, vision, and values built and like complete, ready to implement. And I think what's cool about that is that we will deliver that to you in a 1.5 days, because most of the families that I talk to in our family for the longest time was like, oh, I want to create a mission statement. I want to create a vision statement. I know we should probably have family values, or I want family values. We just never get around to doing it because it's like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what being complete or finished would look like. So we have a framework that we've taken hundreds, if not thousands of families through at this point. But we're just like, selfishly, we love hanging out with other purpose-driven couples. And the couples retreats have been amazing. We had 10 at the first one. We had in Cabo. We had 20 at this last one in Hawaii. And they're at a price point where we also heard from a lot of couples and families that they were like, man, I would love to come to that. It's just maybe a little bit out of our, budget right now. And so Melissa and I, again, we're like, yeah, let's do something where it's very affordable. It's very accessible. Couples can use it as a getaway and have a lot of fun. And we wanted to design it though in a way where everyone would be served. And what I mean by that is you personally will receive a lot of value of just who you are as a human being, who you are as a husband, father, wife, mother, but just like your own identity. You'll receive a ton of value as it relates to like you and your partners, your spouse being on the same page. So your strengthening of your marriage, and then the strengthening of your overall family and what it'll do for your children. And yeah, we're going to do all that in a 1.5 days. November 7th and 8th in Gilbert, Arizona. Melissa found a beautiful venue, super fun, cool environment, cool energy. Yeah, we're stoked.
Super stoked. And I want to call it the family brand Blitz. I don't know if Chris likes that name as much as I do, but I think it's really fun. The family brand Blitz. And one thing that I think will be really fun is Chris has a gift for speaking. Like he just, as he said, he just got home from speaking at an event, and I don't feel like there's hardly ever opportunity for people to hear from you though, if it's not like in a work setting, like outside of a work setting. So I think this is really fun. Chris is so good at what he mentioned about your you leaving, having developed your own personal identity and your family identity. Chris is so good at helping people with that, and speaking directly to that. And I'm excited to have this new kind of platform to hear from you and to let other people hear from you too. Because I feel like this is kind of where you shine. You're like good at business, you're good at coaching businesses, but I feel like this is like your genius, and you're like, you feel like you were put on the earth to talk about stuff like this to people.
Yeah. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, I really do. And I love it. And the reason I want to do this so much, and the reason I want to take some time at the Blitz, the family brand Blitz, for the workshop, the reason I want to take some time to pour into just you, the individual, you, the human being, is because like wherever you go, there you are. And what I mean by that is like your identity, you take it with you everywhere. And the stronger your identity, the more confidence you have in yourself, the more powerful you see yourself. You're going to bring that to your marriage. You're going to bring that to your parenting. You're going to bring that to your life. And I think that was a huge epiphany for Melissa and I when we went from separated, almost divorced, to like fighting for our marriage and starting to make some real progress. Was we stopped trying to work as much on our family as a whole for a minute. We definitely stopped trying to work on each other, and we just worked on ourselves. And it was interesting. I feel like we did more to strengthen our marriage by working on ourselves than we ever did trying to like work on our marriage or each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the more whole and complete and confident I think you are as an individual, the more you have to bring to a marriage, the more you have to bring to your family. And so I would love, and we're going to pour into you and just your personal identity. That alone, I promise you, will make the whole day and a half worth it. You will leave with a stronger sense of like identity and confidence in who you are and how you show up in the world. And we'll then also talk about how that translates to your marriage, and then how that translates to your family. And we're actually going to build your family's mission, vision, values. And it'll be super fun, super collaborative. You'll be able to share with other families. And that's probably been the most meaningful thing I would say about putting on the 2 couples retreats. And then Melissa's organized several small groups that like 8 to 10 families at a time will go through Family Brand together.
Virtually.
Yeah, virtually. That to me, I don't know if you'd say this, I knew that would kind of be cool for families, but I didn't realize how cool that would be and how much families crave, like getting around other like-minded families who are purpose-driven, who are striving to get better. One, to just learn. And we learn. We don't have all the answers. Like we learn stuff from other families all the time. Like, oh, I love that you guys do that with your teenagers, or, oh, I love that you have this as a ritual or a tradition. It's also sometimes really fun to get around other families. Maybe not fun, healing, to realize, oh, everyone else's family has imperfections as well. And so that, I actually think that my bet would be you'll leave loving your family's mission, vision, values, loving the identity work, but you'll probably leave saying the highlight is the other families you got to meet and learn from and connect with.
Yeah, I would totally agree. That's always the feedback I get hosting those virtual, taking families virtually through the Family Brand Academy is that it is a highlight. Hearing from other families and connecting with them. I want to touch just a bit on a few, like, who is this for? Which is, if anyone listening, like, this is for you. This is for families who want to be more intentional, who are busy. A lot of our clients out there are busy entrepreneurs who don't feel like they have the time, but they want to be more intentional. We always attract the most amazing families, the most amazing clients, if you will. So this isn't, if it calls to you, like, this is for you.
Yeah, that's what I would say. If you just feel like there's more that's possible for your family, maybe your family's already doing great, but it's like, I just know that there's more that's possible. Come to this and you will find some of that you're feeling. And you don't have to be at a certain, I think sometimes we think, well, we've got to dial some things in more before we're ready to come to something like this. It's funny. I was actually talking with a prospective client yesterday, who's interested in becoming a client of the Possibility Company, my coaching consulting company. And I use this analogy that I loved, and I'm going to use it on so many people going forward, because they said the same thing. Like, I think we just need to get some things in order before we start working with you guys. And I was like, wait, hold on. That's like saying, hey, I think I need to get in better shape before I start going to the gym. It's like, no, you go to the gym to get in shape. And that's why I told you, you work with us to get the things in order that you're wanting to talk. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. And they ended up moving forward, and, we're becoming a client. So it's like, you don't need to look a certain way or have certain things put together. You just simply, if you have a desire to become more of who you are, you want more for your marriage, you want more for your family, and you know that there's more that's possible, come. Use it as a getaway, have a ton of fun. And Melissa has some really cool bonuses too. I think you're going to do early bird pricing through Labor Day weekend.
Yep. So we'll do some early bird pricing through Labor Day weekend. And then also I created earlier this year what's called a couples getaway guide. And it's like this 30-page PDF that you can take with you on a getaway that walks you through how to have an amazing getaway. So whether you're the couple that takes a getaway every year, or you're the couple that's like, your kids are almost grown and you've never taken a getaway together, it's like, okay, these are the conversations that we want to have. There's like questions that you can ask, and there's little like activities you can do together that will make you come home, will have you come home from your getaway feeling more on the same page and more connected. And, a vacation together is wonderful. You come home refreshed. But I think what's even better is coming home refreshed and feeling like, wow, we're more connected. We're more on the same page. Look what we've accomplished. And this workbook will help you do that. And that's a bonusing that in.
This workbook's amazing. I don't think Melissa's given enough credit. It's like, it'd be like a getaway guide for dummies for me. It's like, oh, it's all of the answers are here. Like, it takes all the guesswork out of like how to think about a getaway, how to plan for a getaway, again, activities, what to talk about on your getaway. Yeah, it's remarkable. She put a lot of time and effort into putting it together, and people have loved it. And you can buy it, but yeah, we're going to bonus it in for anyone who attends.
Yes. And then the other thing that we're going to bonus in is called Your Best Year Yet. And it's how to kind of close out the year, because it is in November. We purposely chose those dates because it's after Halloween. It happens to hit in between our kids' sports seasons, like the fall and winter sports. And also it's before the rush of Christmas and Thanksgiving. But also it's close enough, I feel like, to the new year to let's talk about the new year. Like, what do we want to bring into our family for 2026? And also, how do we close out 2025 powerfully? Like, let's reflect on 2025. What do we want to change? And we're going to allow some time at the workshop itself to do some of that. Like, I know a lot of couples like having a year-end planning or getaway together. And so we want to create this space that this could be that for you as well.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to put a plug in for coming to the Family Brand Blitz, the Family Brand Workshop. And I just say, it's been said so many different ways, like, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities, or show me your calendar and I'll tell you what's important to you. A lot of us say our families are important to us, and I believe they are. And yeah, especially like I've noticed this with a lot of entrepreneurs and myself. I have a greater tendency to invest in things that grow my business than I do to invest in things that grow my family. If you look at my calendar, you'll see more evidence of my commitment to growing and strengthening my business than you will sometimes growing and strengthening my family. And maybe that's to be expected when you're a full-time entrepreneur. And it's like one of the core pieces of research that we found that we'll talk about at the Family Brand Blitz. So we have a real framework. Like, when we say you're going to lead with your mission, vision, values, it's not willy-nilly. It's like a very, very scientific, backed, research-based framework and developed formula we've put together that families go through, all based on this research, and a lot of it out of this really amazing study out of the University of Nebraska, where they did this huge study because they so many of the researchers at that time were studying what has families be dysfunctional, which there's some usefulness in that, so you can learn. But the researchers were like, well, why don't we also do some research on what has families be awesome? What has families be strong and connected and grow stronger over time? So they did that subject study, and they came up with these core strengths. which we've modeled all of our core values off of. And the number one strength of strong families is they prioritize family. Like there's a commitment to family. It is a priority. They don't just say, oh, my family's important to me, but then they have nothing to show for it. It's like, no, family's important to us. And you'll see our commitment to our family in our calendar on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis. And so I just think it's also an opportunity to send a signal to yourself, to your marriage, and to your family. They're like, oh, this really does matter to us. It really is important to us. And you'll have some proof that it's important to you when you leave, because you'll have a brand like that will serve you and your family for the rest of your lives. And that's another bonus. Is Melissa's going to include a couple of bonus calls after the workshop, because, one of my favorite quotes is the difference between inspiration and transformation is implementation. It's great to come for 1.5 days, get super inspired, super excited. But if you don't implement it, it will not lead to a transformation. And so in those 2 follow-up calls, we're going to do everything in our power to force you to implement it in a very simple way, but where your family's brand, your mission, vision, values can start to make its way into your family's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual lives, so that it really can profoundly shape your family. And look, the way I see our family brand, our mission, vision, values, is we use our family's mission, vision, values to help shape our children's identity in a way that has them really confident in who they are and believe in who they are and know that they matter and they have worth and that they're enough. And I don't know of a gift that you can give your children that's more powerful than an identity of like, I'm enough, I matter, I belong. And that's what your family's mission, vision, values can do for your children.
Absolutely. And just to be clear, you will also get access to our digital family brand academy. So you can go back and re-listen to everything that you're going to be learning live. You can go back and look at it. You'll get our family brand academy workbook, of course. And then, as Chris mentioned, I think one of the most powerful things, as he said, you'll have your family brand built. We'll talk about your family culture and everything we mentioned. But what families love maybe the most out of our family brand academy is the systems. And you're going to leave, we'll talk about the systems of how to implement it, and systems to just stay connected and to have that strong family culture. We'll talk about that weekend, but also we'll have those follow-up calls. And I think that that's going to be where the transformation and the magic will really happen, because you want to bring this work home to your kids and you'll want to share it with them. And there is going to be, things that will come up and you'll be like, hey, I don't know, we didn't quite do this right. And how do we do this? So those extra calls are going to be super important to allow you to really bring it home. No pun intended.
And I mean, let's just face it, Melissa and I are really cool and fun.
And we like good foods.
Yeah. It'll be a good time. Well, at a minimum, we'll have a blast together. So come hang out with us. Seriously, November 7th and 8th. What's the familybrand.com /
retreats. If you go to familybrand.com, you'll just see it up at there's a heading up at the top. You can just click on retreat and you can register there. Yeah, we'd love to have you. And we do, for this first one, the venue is awesome. I went and visited it. It's in Gilbert, did a site visit, but it's not huge. So there is a limited amount of couples. Like I can't just accept as many couples as enroll.
We have 30 couples, right?
Yeah, there's only space for 30 couples. So if this calls you, like, jump on it. Let's do it. We want to hang with you in November.
Not only that, the weather in Arizona in November is amazing. So even more of a reason to come, especially if you live somewhere cold. Come hang out. Yeah. See you in November.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on the Family Brand Podcast. But wait, before you go, I want to give you something. It's something I stole out of our Family Brand Academy because I thought it would make a big difference for you, and I want you to have it for free, no strings attached. It's how we run our family meetings, and not just our family meetings that we have every week, but also our family check-ins, which is this system we've developed for how to connect with our kids and each other, Chris and I, every single week. And we've had some great outcomes with this. Not only have we, but a lot of families that have implemented this have as well. Actually, life-changing outcomes, if I'm being honest. You'll definitely want to get this. Go get your copy at familybrand.com / meeting, and we will catch you next time.